morning, folks. Today is Thursday morning, and got a few eBay orders to pull out here in the shed. First one is a couple more of these foundation, CoverGirl foundations. Those sold for 24 bucks with free shipping. I'm selling those pretty consistently, you know, once or twice a week, so that's nice. Sold a vintage video cassette rewinder. I've been sitting on this guy for a while. This sold for 20 bucks plus free shipping. Oh no, plus shipping. Yeah, they're paying shipping on this, so that's a pretty good one. I got this a long time ago for like $1.50. Then I sold another little retail arbitrage Leticolo. Got this guy for $2.50 and he sold for $13. And finally, I've got a hat somewhere in here. Is it? Yep. San Francisco, this sold for 19 bucks with free shipping. Then the last thing I sold is this NCAA Football 14, but it actually is an empty case. I had a couple of these cases sitting around for a while waiting to see if I would get a loose disc. Didn't happen. Maybe I will eventually, but just decided to throw them up there on their own, and they each sold for $22.97 with free shipping. So the other one went out earlier this week, and I just didn't end up filming it. And here are my Amazon sales of the day. Anyway, these guys were all pretty much online arbitrage except this guy. This was a pawn shop find. It sold for 35 bucks, and I think I picked it up for like $5. So that was definitely the best deal. These guys all sold for 35, and I picked them up for 20 a piece. So really, so on these two, so they were 2 for $3. That's how I got them so cheap. 2 for $3. Buy 2, get 1 free. So these two guys, I'm actually basically not profiting on at all because I kept the third one. And these two I will be making something on. I think I sold another one of them at some point in the past, but I'll be making like $8 a piece on these and basically breaking even on those because I kept one. And then these Madden 20s, I think I picked up for like 20 bucks a piece, and they all sold for, I think, 44. So making a little bit better money on those, probably like 15 bucks or so. So yeah, pretty happy with those sales. Well, that looks like a lot of work. Well, folks, I've been putting this load off for a long time now. This big box of stuff here, as well as this littler bag, is what is left of my trip that I took a while back, my big road trip, video game buying, sourcing trip to a bunch of pawn shops. And I was holding off on listing it because I can't send any of this into FBA right now, and I didn't want to do it all merchant fulfilled, but it's getting to the point where I don't really have anything else to do, so I'm thinking about just listing it all. And of course, by thinking about it, I mean I have procrastinated it as long as I possibly can, and now I'm just going to do it. So this little bag of stuff right here, tragically enough, is all stuff that I actually had listed and ready to go into Amazon the night before they announced to everybody that they were not accepting any non-essential FBA shipments anymore. So there it is. They all have their FBA stickers and everything ready to go. These will probably be some of the last ones that I list. I'm going to tackle this box right here of, just miscellaneous stuff before I get into the ones that have already been labeled. But I'll show you guys a little bit kind of my workflow when it comes to listing this stuff. All right, so here is how I have everything laid out to list in my listing software here. This is Exceller List. That's what I use. It's very okay, in my opinion. So I have things more or less organized according to condition. You'll see I have my new games over here. These are my very good condition games. For me, basically, that means that it has the original case and manual and looks decent. Then I have my good games here. What I list as good is basically games that have their original case but are missing the manual, and I disclose it in the description. I'm not sure if that's technically aligned with Amazon's policies or not, so take that with a grain of salt. It may be that if it's missing the manual, you technically have to do acceptable condition. So far, I haven't had any issues because I'm careful with my description. And then here we have all of the acceptable disc-only titles, and a few that do have the case, but the case just looks kind of crappy. So like, for example, this one is pretty clearly reprinted on just like printer paper or something. I think this maybe came from a like used game store or a Family Video or something like that, and doesn't look very good. So and also doesn't have the manual, so that's going in acceptable. Then I have some random little, these still need cases, these are some disc-only games. Accessories, stuff like that. This is a, Metal Mario Wii controller. And all of this stuff I am going to get listed in the next few days here, maybe on into Monday. It's Saturday right now. And the reason that it's taken me so long to do all that is I really prefer with my games to send them into FBA. Normally, a lot of these items are a little bit like lower profit. The margins on them are usually really good because I am paying less, but the overall dollar amount is oftentimes like under 20 bucks. And so for that, I like to send those items all into FBA so that I can minimize my labor costs when I can. But desperate times call for desperate measures, so I'm going to be doing all of these merchant fulfilled until, whenever it does become possible to send non-essential items into Amazon again. Then I will take whatever hasn't sold and redo another batch in this listing software and just kind of go from there. I would love to hear from you guys who are selling on Amazon if you are holding anything back and waiting to send stuff into FBA. As I go through this, it very well may be that there are a good number of I'd say $10 to $14 games that I just don't really want to deal with because after fees and shipping them on my own especially, shipping them to Amazon for me is way cheaper. Like it costs probably less than a quarter a game to ship in large bundles, but when I'm paying like $3 to ship, even though my FBA fees or the fees that I pay to Amazon because I'm not doing FBA will be significantly lower, with the labor involved, I'm just not really sure if that's going to be worth it. So I'm going to run some numbers and kind of see the comparison of what they look like and, kind of just take them one by one, but I'll show you guys either way if I end up holding stuff back as well. All right, so I'm partway through listing these guys and I've run into a bit of an issue. Well, it's not really an issue as much as it is like a conundrum. So I have this stack of GameCube games. These I bought in a big lot of games from my friend Kyle, and there are a bunch of good titles in here, and I'm really torn because recently, you guys probably know I've been working a lot on my Switch collection, and that's the main platform that I've really been collecting for, but I'm seeing some of these GameCube games and thinking about how I still do have my GameCube and I want to eventually build out a small collection for it, and some of these titles I don't have, and I'm like, they're really valuable, but also I kind of want them. So just to give you kind of an idea of what I'm wrestling with here, some of these titles do have decent value, but I'm honestly not all that interested in. Mostly the Harvest Moons. That's a franchise I never really was interested in. But look down here. Zelda Wind Waker, that's like a $60+ game complete. And I don't have it yet. So I'm playing through Breath of the Wild right now on the Switch, and that's actually the first Zelda game I've ever played. So I'm not and I love Breath of the Wild, but it's not a super nostalgic series for me. So I'm like, well, maybe one day I'll want to play it, but probably not in the near future. But even if I don't want to play it, should I keep it just to have it because it's so iconic? I don't know. It's worth a good amount, so maybe I should sell it. Another couple that I'm wrestling with here are Pokemon Coliseum. That's a nice complete copy, and maybe Pikmin. So let me know what you guys would do. Do you guys just kind of throw everything in your collections that you find that you pick up? Do you set a price limit for yourself or a cap every month? I really don't know what to do here, but I thought I would just let you guys in on that internal struggle. So I thought about it a little bit more, and here's where I'm at right now. I think I'm going to keep these games, with the exception of Colosseum, because I actually have a disc-only copy of that right now that I'm just going to substitute out. So I am going to list a copy of this, just not this copy, because you know, I'm just kind of a nerdy collector and I like having like the box and everything. Although, to be honest, I don't know, as I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, would I rather have this copy of Wind Waker, which I may or may not ever play, or would I rather have like a nice quality Switch game, or maybe even two? That's a tough one. I don't know. You guys need to help me out in the comments because I just am very indecisive right now. So I've made a little bit more progress in the stack, and I just wanted to show you guys what has happened to the prices of some of these games that I'm listing right now, because it's really blowing me away. So this right here, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. It's a website called Keepa, and it tracks Amazon prices over time. So what you can see here is a few different lines. This top line here is the new price over time. This bottom line here is the used price, and you can see just as recently as March, early March, this game right here, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, was going for $7.52. That was the cheapest used offering. All these little like purple X's are the warehouse deals. This is a $7 game 3 weeks ago. And now take a look at that hike. Right at this moment, this is like a $28 game. So if you guys have any Wii games that you are sitting on right now, absolutely get them listed. Whether it's eBay, whether it's Amazon, whatever, because you're going to be able to get a premium, especially for these main series Nintendo games. These are going for a lot right now. Here's another example. Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii. So here's early March. This is a little bit of a different time frame. I can take it out to a year here. Right, so fairly consistently, anywhere from, I'd say, about an $11 game down to, what is it here? $5 you could pick this game up for. Right now, this game is selling for, let's see if I can get it. So it went down to $8 for a very short time till someone snagged it, then right back up to, right now we're in about the $26 range. So huge difference right now. I'm really glad that I am getting these things listed. Even though it's not through FBA, because these guys are going for a premium. Just look at that organized goodness. Just got all of the very good condition games listed, and boy, they just fit perfectly in this box. Just had to show you guys. These are the ones that I decided not to list. Almost all of them are in the like $10 to $14 range. And I'd get a pretty solid prime bump if I did wait to do them FBA. None of these are really heavily inflated with their prices right now. And I'd just rather send them into FBA because not only will it be less work, but I think even with FBA fees, I'll probably end up getting a little bit more money for them. So I'm cool waiting on those. These guys are all listed. And I think I actually am going to call it quits for the day. It is Saturday afternoon, so going to give myself a bit of a break, but come Monday, I will definitely update you guys on how much of this stuff has sold and what it's all selling for and all that. I'm crossing my fingers that Monday will be a solid day of orders for me, getting all this stuff up right now. And yeah, thank you guys, as always, for watching. Remember to give me the old thumb and the old little subby. And I will definitely catch you guys on the drop. Didn't see that one coming, huh?